And let us call on Very Sherman.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that leave be given to bring in a bill to set standards as to the emissions particulate sensing technology to be used in roadworthiness tests for diesel vehicles and for connected purposes. Mr. Speaker, I have been, as you know, in this House a very long time, but it is 20 years since I did a 10-minute rule bill, so I hope everyone will be tolerant of me today. I'd like to declare my interest as Chair of the Westminster Commission on Road Air Quality, an active member of the All-Party Group on Clean Air, and Chair of the World Health Organisation's Global Legislators for Road Safety. As many colleagues might know, throughout my career in this House, I've been a passionate campaigner for the environment. And I know that colleagues across the House share the view that we and all our constituents have an inalienable right to breathe in clean air. It is now clear that toxic air is one of the greatest public health challenges of our time, affecting pregnant women, the elderly, our children, our grandchildren. No one is exempt from breathing poisonous, polluted air in our country. As former chair of the Education Select Committee, and in much of my other work, I've always believed in pursuing good, evidence-based policies. And on the issue of air pollution, the experts and the science are crystal clear. The challenge cannot be underestimated and urgently requires not just a joined-up approach, not just a cross-party and cross-sector partnership, but a recognition of the huge scale of the challenge we're facing. The government is fully aware, because they've got the record, that up to 36,000 people a year are dying from breathing related to polluted air. Indeed, in my own constituency of Huddersfield, in 2020, it was linked to over 150 deaths. Not only is this a tragic loss of life from this invisible killer, there is also a huge economic cost, estimated at 20 billion annually, from the accumulated cost of treating health conditions and days missed work. This is a challenge which we are morally obliged to sort out and solve. But reducing air pollution is also vital to our economy, for our health and the general well-being of our society. And I've been particularly proud working over the last few years with Professor Stephen Holgate, one of our greatest experts on this issue. Mr. Speaker, it is estimated that just short of 30% of our noxious emissions come from the transport sector, and over 90% of these come from road transport vehicles. That's the cars, vans and lorries that we see every day. Many of the challenges we face with air pollution will take major research, a lot of innovation and intervention, and all that will take considerable time and resources. But we also have the opportunity to seek some more rapid, achievable, quick wins. This one, in my bill today, is the top of the list. Tackling diesel emissions can achieve relatively speedily, and if this House so chooses, this bill could have a profound impact on air quality in our towns, cities and communities in the short term. The World Health Organization has made it crystal clear on the dangerous health impact of diesel emissions on human health, especially to the respiratory system. And my own honourable friend from Lewisham East is very familiar with the scale of the challenge, given the tragic case of Ella Kissy Deborah. Her death and the evidence linked to this case shows us just how devastating toxic air in urban spaces can be. Her mother, Rosamond, continues to passionately campaign for change to the law, and we must not let her efforts go in vain. This brings me to the core purpose of my bill, Mr. Speaker. All diesel vehicles need to be fitted with fully functioning and fully operational particulate filters. These are known as DPFs, Diesel Particulate Filters. A DPF captures and stores dangerous emissions released by the vehicle. And if they're not working and they're not checked properly, that's how we get the pollution, Mr. Speaker. Independent research shows that a single faulty filter produces the same amount of pollution as a 3-line a 3-lane, 360-mile-long traffic jam that are functioning with proper GPS fitted. That's the distance between, Mr. Speaker, between my constituency of Huddersfield and Land's End. To be fair, as a country, we've made some moves in the right direction. In 2014 and 2018, MOT tests became marginally more rigorous to ensure the proper working of these filters. But now in 2022, we're being left behind, and our MOT tests in this area are once again insufficient and out of date. Governments in countries like the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany are making much faster progress in reducing the levels of ultrafine particulate matter through simple improvements in MO2 testing. And this is a particularly concern to me, Mr. Deputy Speaker, because one of the things these do is to accelerate the ageing process. And I'm looking around the chamber, that concerns some of us very much indeed. In the Netherlands, 10 improved models of devices which test the efficiency of these filters are already set to be approved this July. The Dutch, using more sensitive technology, are picking up the real efficiency of these filters. This revised test would require improved sensing technology set at 250,000 particles per cubic centimetre. The current testing system in the UK only picks up, Mr. Speaker, only 1% of faulty filters. In the higher standard used in the Netherlands, it is estimated 15% more filters would be identified as faulty. Checks on diesel particulate filters, DPFs, do make up part of the present requirements for diesel vehicles. But at present, the test only seeks to determine if these filters are obviously defective or actually missing. I have been in touch with the Secretary of State for Transport and his team on several occasions on this issue, and I've always been told we already have safeguards in operations. However, the fact of the matter is that there are thousands of vehicles that are falling through the cracks of this out-of-date testing system to the serious detriment of air quality and public health nationwide. So in essence, my bill would bring the UK up to the highest possible standards. It would introduce new sensing technology which would identify the less obviously defective but still dangerous filters. It would ensure that vehicles are roadworthy and fit for Britain's roads. And finally, these more stringent tests would protect the health and well-being of millions of drivers, passengers and pedestrians throughout our country. This bill is entirely realistic in its ambitions. It is tried, tested and has been rolled out repeatedly in other countries. It is a small change to make but potentially have huge life-saving impacts. Other countries' experience has shown best practice we can achieve. But it is now clear that all we must do is to follow those examples, build consensus across this House and across industry to get these emissions down. In my experience, so many of our constituents want to play a role in addressing climate change crisis. And they may not be Greta Thunberg, they may not be David Attenborough or Bill Gates, but they want to help and make a difference in their communities and in our constituencies. I believe that responsible citizens would readily change their behaviour and support these efforts if they were made aware that their vehicle had a broken filter and was poisoning the air we all breathe. Last week I presented a bill for the House which puts a duty on every local authority to audit the quality of their air and annually report this to Parliament. With the support of this House, MO2 providers, road users and pedestrians will be able to proceed in the confidence that these changes can be brought into effect without unsustainable costs for garages or for drivers. What is clear is that we cannot afford to wait. Although we are making advances in technology such as hydro-treated vegetable oil, HVOs, with the help of, indeed, Lord Tebbutt's son, William Tebbit, but also hydrogen and battery technology is moving, but they're not moving fast enough. The UK should not be a follower in making MOT tests more rigorous, it should be a leader. We continue to hold the presidency of COP26 and there's still a window to show decisive and bold, thoughtful leadership. Let us take this step together, Mr Deputy Speaker, and move closer to achieving a goal we all should share across this House, that our children, grandchildren, friends, family and loved ones are united in the right to breathe clean air.
There's now an opportunity if anybody wishes to oppose the 10-minute rule motion, although I have not been notified that anybody wishes to do so, and I don't see anybody willing to do so, so I'll pose the question. The question is that the honourable member have leave to bring in the bill. As many of them say aye. Aye. Contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Who will prepare and bring in the bill?
Mr. Clive Efford, Christine Jardine, Geraint Davis, Kim Leadbeater, Dr. Philippa Whitford, Hugh Merriman and Sir Robert Gilbert, sir. And myself, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Barry Shearman. Who's going to... No.
Thank you very much. Motor Vehicle Tests Diesel Particulate Filters Bill.
Second reading, what day?
Friday, 18th of March, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Friday, the 18th of March. Barry taught me politics at Swansea University. So it's wonderful to be here for his 10-minute rule vote. Well done.
Thank you. I'm going to give this to...
We